No matter how successful you are in your career, you've probably had a time or two where you've made a bad decision and that has ultimately affected your retirement savings. I'm with Tony Roberts, president and founder of Prosperity Asset Management. You know, Tony, I feel like that could be easy to do, making a mistake when we're talking about planning the next 20 to 30 years of your life.
Oh, Claudia, it happens all the time. And for most of us, we have our entire career where we're used to focusing on what we do, and it's probably not thinking about doing retirement planning. Some of my more affluent clients are even anxious when we start thinking about looking at the next 20, 30, or 40 years and saying, do I have enough to make this thing last?
What is the most important thing for people to keep in mind if they're in or near retirement?
Well, there's primarily four things that go on that you've sort of got to work concurrently to make these things work. People don't understand what we call stock market whiplash may be about. There's inflation, which lay dormant for 40 years, and now all of a sudden it's 7-8%. Taxes. Congress is always trying to figure out more ways to get their hand into our pocket. And lastly, the thing probably comes into play with retirement is the exorbitant health care costs that go into maybe having to take care of ourselves, you know, when we need extended care and things like that down the road in retirement.
Let's talk about lifestyle, right? We all want to have a certain lifestyle when we retire, but that also can dig into our retirement savings, and maybe we're not prepared for that.
Well, the thing when it comes to lifestyle is simply this, Claudia. I don't think anyone, when they get ready to retire, wants to go back to what lifestyle they were living, let's say, when we were 30. Now, you and I both may want to go back to 30, but we probably don't want to go back to living on the same scale that we were doing at 30. We probably want to continue a lifestyle into retirement that's pretty close to the lifestyle that we're living right up until retirement. So one of the fallacies that I think our industry and even the media to a certain extent extends to people is saying, well, you can live on 70 or 80% of your income in retirement. What we have found is people probably, especially in those first few years, actually need to live on more in retirement because now they're getting to fulfill their bucket list.
So if our viewers have made some mistakes out there, how can you help get them on track, take a look at their numbers and get them straight? Well,
first thing we do is probably do an analysis to see where they are. Stress test sort of what they've got going on without making any changes. And then see if we uncover some hidden, threats that might be out there to their planning. Then work on correcting those threats. And again, working back around and saying, hey, look, are there opportunities with tax? Can we nip this inflation thing to a certain degree? How do we go about providing for health care if that were to raise its head down the road? And hopefully be able to sit there and say, do we want to have all of our eggs in one basket when it comes to maybe the stock market? Or maybe do we want to go maybe a little more safe and have a more diversified type of portfolio on behalf of the clients?
All right, Tony, thank you. Well, if you need Tony to help you manage any missteps in your life, he has a special offer right now. Find out how you can reduce or even eliminate your taxes in retirement. Take advantage of that offer from Tony and his team. For our viewers today, he will sit down with you, run a complete retirement tax analysis, which will reveal how you can potentially save hundreds of thousands of dollars in retirement, and then develop a comprehensive plan to get you where you want to be, living the retirement you deserve. It's complimentary for the first 5 callers who have saved $500,000 or more. Call now, 502-754-3737. That number again, 502-754-3737.